Your life feels harder than necessary lately. Simple actions feel mentally exhausting now. Even basic tasks require too much energy, and consistency keeps becoming difficult repeatedly, not because you are incapable internally. You think the problem is discipline sometimes, or motivation and lack of consistency again. But the deeper issue is operational friction. Your daily life has become unnecessarily difficult, and your system keeps resisting execution internally. Many people unknowingly create complicated lives, too many rules and unnecessary decisions daily, too much mental resistance around simple actions. Everything starts feeling heavier over time. That quietly destroys momentum and consistency. Your brain naturally avoids unnecessary difficulty. That is not weakness or laziness automatically. Humans conserve energy whenever possible naturally. So when life feels constantly friction-filled, your system starts resisting execution internally. You create complicated morning routines unnecessarily, overloaded schedules and unrealistic expectations daily, too many productivity systems running simultaneously, too many decisions draining mental bandwidth constantly. Eventually, your brain starts pushing back. Then simple actions become emotionally expensive. Starting work feels heavier than necessary. Basic habits require too much mental effort, and discipline starts feeling unsustainable internally because your system became operationally exhausting. Consistency depends heavily on behavioral friction. The harder actions feel psychologically, the less likely they repeat consistently, even when your intentions stay strong internally. That affects long-term execution dramatically. Most people think motivation creates consistency, but environment and operational ease matter more. Your brain prefers clear, simple pathways naturally, not endless resistance before every action begins. That creates behavioral avoidance over time. This is why overcomplicated systems fail often. They require too much sustained mental energy, too many steps, and constant self-management. Eventually, execution starts collapsing gradually, not from laziness, but cognitive fatigue. You create a difficult system initially, then struggle maintaining it consistently afterward, so guilt and frustration start increasing internally. You feel disappointed in yourself repeatedly, and motivation begins dropping even further. Then you search for another solution, another routine or productivity structure again. But the deeper friction remains unchanged internally, so the cycle repeats continuously afterward. Complexity keeps replacing genuine sustainability. Many people are not failing discipline, they are failing operational simplicity instead. Their systems create unnecessary mental resistance daily, so consistency becomes emotionally exhausting quickly. That hidden friction changes everything. So stop glorifying unnecessary difficulty constantly. Harder does not always mean better. Complexity does not guarantee effectiveness either. Sometimes simplicity creates stronger long-term execution. That is what sustainable systems require. Your goal is not maximum intensity daily. The goal is repeatable, sustainable behavior consistently. A simpler system repeated for years beats complicated systems abandoned repeatedly afterward. That is how momentum actually builds. Your life should support consistent execution, not constantly resist it psychologically every day. Good systems reduce unnecessary decision-making daily. They reduce friction around important behaviors and make action easier to repeat. First, identify unnecessary friction points daily. What actions feel harder than necessary? Where are you overcomplicating basic execution internally? What creates repeated mental resistance constantly? Awareness changes system design immediately. Second, reduce unnecessary behavioral complexity drastically. Simplify routines and execution processes everywhere. Remove steps that add little value. Stop optimizing every tiny behavior constantly. Simplicity improves consistency significantly. Third, lower activation energy for action. Make important behaviors easier to begin. Prepare environments before execution moments arrive.
Reduce decisions surrounding essential habits daily. That improves follow-through dramatically. Fourth, stop building unrealistic ideal systems. Design around your real daily capacity instead, not fantasy productivity expectations internally. Sustainable systems respect human limitations naturally. That creates long-term behavioral stability. And finally, reduce mental clutter everywhere possible. Too many choices drain cognitive energy quickly. Too many systems create internal overwhelm silently. Your brain needs operational clarity daily, not endless self-management pressure constantly. Your consistency improves when friction decreases, because execution stops feeling emotionally heavy. Simple actions become easier to repeat, and momentum starts building naturally again. That changes long-term progress significantly. High performers reduce unnecessary complexity aggressively. They protect mental bandwidth carefully every day. They simplify routines and repeated decisions, and remove avoidable operational resistance constantly. That supports sustainable execution long-term. You don't need harder systems always. You need systems that actually continue working. The best routine is the sustainable one, not the most impressive-looking one online. That distinction changes everything eventually. Look honestly at your current systems. Do they support your consistency naturally, or constantly drain mental energy internally? Does your life feel operationally smooth daily, or psychologically heavy all the time? Many people quietly exhaust themselves unnecessarily. Too many rules and rigid expectations daily. Too much optimization around normal behaviors. Eventually, execution starts emotionally collapsing internally. That is hidden operational overload. Your brain works better with simplicity. Clear systems reduce internal resistance significantly. Fewer decisions preserve cognitive energy longer, and smoother execution improves behavioral consistency naturally. That supports sustainable discipline deeply. You can't endlessly fight your own systems. Eventually, your brain starts avoiding them automatically. Not because you lack potential internally, but because the process feels exhausting psychologically. That hidden friction matters deeply. But there's an even deeper issue. Sometimes the resistance becomes internalized completely. You start negotiating with yourself constantly, breaking your own personal agreements repeatedly afterward. That damages behavioral integrity slowly. Eventually, you stop trusting your own intentions because your actions keep disconnecting repeatedly. What you plan and what you execute become two completely different realities internally. That weakens self-respect over time. And that creates another dangerous pattern: constant self-negotiation and broken commitments internally. Not external failure, but internal inconsistency. That slowly damages personal authority. That is what we fix next. Watch again. Your mind never fully closes open loops. Mental friction rarely starts externally first. It builds quietly inside unresolved systems daily. Too much internal resistance drains execution slowly. That is the deeper pattern.